So what I want to do is to make some chart kind of like this that dynamically or interactively changes according to your input and with a little interactive element like right there. And so I'm going to use some code that's I'm pretty much going to use this right here, but then I'm going to modify the input so that the value of the plot isn't like this so much. It'll be instead modeling an economic model. I'll probably do the solo model, which is something that I've been needing to study for school, and it's a difficult thing to think in terms of, and unless you put a lot of effort into it and really practice with a bunch of calculations and graphs, and drawing a bunch of graphs after making a bunch of calculations. However, my idea is that if I can do something like this, then I'll be able to develop more of an intuition for the elements that are going on, that are really playing out in this, playing out the elements that are, playing into the creation of the charts and stuff that that would be outputted by those models, those economic models. And they use multiple variables, so it's not just one input that would be chosen via this process right here. It would also be others. So I would need to ultimately have multiple sliders. But first I just need to really duplicate this code and then modify it according to all the different variables that I need, and plotting on a different x-axis. It's going to need to be much longer, I think, just due to how the model works. But overall, this isn't really going to need to be done too complexly, especially since I already have this example right here. And I'm going to probably combine it using pre-existing code from good code from quantitative economics. It's a lecture thing, and I found some solo or like Romer model. Let's see. Yeah, solo model. Here it is. Already developed by this really cool lecture thing about economics. And it's this whole project called Quant Econ. Part of it is using Python to produce economic models. And a lot of that stuff is way over my head, much more quantitative and like master's, PhD level stuff than what I'm working with. But they already have some graphs, exactly like what I need. In fact, they actually are a little more complex than what I need, but I'll probably be able to refer to what code they have and kind of see what all I need to do. I only intend or really want to make one of these graphs, not three of them, and I hope to plot only really one of these lines at first. But what I might want to do is have a baseline line that doesn't really change, but according to user input, another line is changed. And as you can see right here, these are various inputs. This is modifying, this is showing you how the graphs look across the modification of different variables. First it's alphas here, and then savings rate here, and then depreciation rate here. And while this is cool, I think that having this image right here it's kind of doing more confusing for me than if I just had one and I was able to just fiddle around with the different variables myself. dynamically, interactively, and I think it could actually help other people. And so what I hope to do is that using the code here, which is actually all the way down on this web page, this is a web page about writing good code in Python. So hopefully I should be able to understand it more. Hopefully other people that come along might be able to understand it more. And I plan to then put it onto Jupyter notebooks where I can host it, and people that aren't as technical and don't know how to run the notebooks themselves, I'll be able to host them on a site where they can use them and interact with the models too. So I think that this could be a very useful model and tool for, a useful tool for learning the models, even for people who don't have programming experience. So let's get into it.